Alright guys, welcome back again. So I left you off with, I had my guys, my German units that I was going to put in tactical assault, but I decided not to. Kind of figured out what I want to do with the Germans. So what I did was I went through the rest of the sequence of play outside of the video. There was really much they weren't doing. Check supply, because we had to trace back general supply back to our headquarters. It's a new day. It's actually not a new day, but PM turn now, and the Americans went very clean, very simple. They're in defense right now. So what I did was we had, by the way, this unit was there. So we had a full battalion that I decided to break off one and bring it over here. And so we put this unit in constricted terrain forest on a vantage point, so it's a good spot for them. So we'll put this back. We also decided to build an IP for construction phase. Up here, we broke off a unit in a movement. So when you do breakdown, you do it in a movement phase, and you lose half your movement allowance. So we were able to get the actual unit can be in any of the 6 hexes adjacent or in the hex where the parent is. So we decided to leave it here. We decided to build IP. Same thing up here, full battalion, which we shaved off a company. We sent that company up here, which in the forest woods on the vantage point, seal up this hole. Plus we can have them for combat reserve later. That's about what I did for the Americans. I also checked supply. Here's the headquarters with 26th. Everybody's in supply. It is 18 mech or leg movement points back to that headquarters, since it is clear weather. For the Germans, when we checked, it is 12 mech for the Germans. Mech meaning mech movement points. And almost fell down. So you can see here, goes over what the cost is for either mech or for leg units. All right. So I did a recap a little bit on what my plans were. Zoom in a little bit. What my plans were for the Germans. It is now PM turn, 27th of December. Like I said, Americans actually went first for the PM turn. They did their. Now it's going to be the Germans. And so let's go through the sequence of play. Mode determination. Right now, I believe I just want to get everybody in position. I'm not ready. Well, why don't we do this? Let's be smart about it. Let's look in the north first. Let's work our way from the north, and then work our way down. Voila. Hopefully that stays. All right. So the plan was that I had. The problem is I can't. This is interesting because I never did this before. Am I allowed to put somebody in PA and then break them down? Not break them down. Uh, this dismount, because the dismount happens, by the way, in the movement phase. I think I can do that. Let me just double check really quick. I'm just gonna look at the dismount rule, if there's a restriction. But I don't remember seeing anything about that, because I like to, if I do this, if I put him in PA, I'm gonna put this guy, I'm gonna put this person here underneath in PA, and they're gonna go after this unit here. Like I mentioned before in my other video, I was thinking about bringing him up, but then they're gonna give a defense shift, so I'm not gonna bother with that. However, while I'm looking this up, let's get these artillery units in position. Let's see here. Before I do that, he can only go 3. 1, 2, 3. So he's going to have to move up closer. So he's not going to be much help. Let's get these two up. So I have at least 5 artillery firepower going in. All right, let's look at dismount really quick. Here we go. So all it states is motorized infantry, Panzer Grenadier, mech engineer, requires the unit to expend half of its movement allowance, which I know, during the friendly movement phase. But is there a penalty? Because you're expending half of your movement, but then you're being allowed to move 1 to 2 hexes in PA. Prepared assault mode. Here we go. Let me look at prepared assault. Let's see if there's anything on that. All right, it's not giving me any restrictions on it. Outside, let me back up. It's not giving me a restriction on putting dismounting a unit and then being able to prepared assault. So I can put them in prepared assault, dismount in the friendly phase, and then move them when it's time in the friendly phase in PA. Alright, I think that's going to be an attack I'm going to make. So why don't we do that? So if we do this attack, the idea was to shift these guys over, which we can, because that's covered terrain, movement covered terrain. So we can put these guys in PA, shift them, and attack that hex. And then we're going to be moving these units down south. So we have a plan for them. This unit here will stay back and figure out where to go. Here's a road. If I put them in exploit, and if we can get through this guy, let's say if we can get through to him, there's a bridge here, and we can get in there with exploit. Maybe that might be the move. Or I can put those guys, we're going to need all the help we can get, in combat reserve. We can do that. Now these guys can't be put in combat reserve because they're AFV. These guys can. I can also put these guys as well. But I want to bring them there. I need all the help I can get. I need to get across that river. So it's more important for me to just do the damage. There is a special rule. Let's see something. Now, engineers don't do anything, by the way, in this rule stat. They help units get across the river, but I have a bridge, so don't need anything there. It doesn't help with my attack unless I was going into unless I was going up against field work, an IP or an entrenchment. That's when they come in handy as well. Let's find this thing. Because I know in this rule said if I go to attack and the artillery hits me and I have to lose, one of my units gets pushed back, I can drop my other PA attack. And then you you don't automatically, but you can choose to retreat. Okay. I need to know my exit strategy if I do this. Um, all right, so let's put these guys in PA. And then this guy, well, you do it during the movement phase. Put him in combat reserve. In combat reserve, it must be within 3 hexes of the defending unit, which these will be dismounted. And so if they're in combat reserve, they can cross the river, and these guys will come down here for combat reserve because they have to be within 3 hexes of the defending hex. So, yes. Then these two down here, let's put them in paired assault. Oh, the artillery, for one good thing for the Americans, they only have one over here. So they have one down here too, but I believe it's too far away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's too far away to reach. So we're going to concentrate up here. I don't think I'm going to do anything down there. Just move men around. All right, so that's that. That's that. Can I have, like I said, it's been a while since I played the system. I want to know, can I have a one-step unit to be in combat reserve? And it doesn't have to be like a 2-step or more to be in combat reserve. Let's see. You got to oil the wheels again and get our mind back into the system. Let's see, combat reserve, page 27. Here we go. It doesn't look like steps doesn't matter. I know rib steps do matter. You got to be at least 2 steps or more to give rib dice modifiers. Yeah, the only restriction is got to be part of the same formation, which they are. They're part of the first SS. Within 3 hexes, yes, of the defender hex. It has to be an infantry type, which they are. A maximum of 3 can only be put into combat reserve. So you can only have a dice modifier of 15 points because each combat reserve is worth 5 DRMs for either side. Yeah. Okay. So we can do that. So in the movement phase, I'll hit that. All right. So those are going to be our attacks. I don't see anything else. Everyone else, we're going to just move around. I'll take you down here. You can look down here. Definitely don't want to make any stupid attacks. However, this, since it's mode determination, this gets flipped over. Let's get our artillery prepared. I always like to keep my artilleries on a trail or a road. That's going to be it. All right. So construction for the Germans, absolutely not. We're not going to do any construction. Player movement now. Now we can move our units. Strategic. Anyone that wants to do strategic road, we can move. We're not going to do strategic. Now we're going to do road movement. Anyone on a road, that includes this being a road, this trail right now. Now I know when there's mud, Germans have it. Any heavy tanks cannot use trail. They have to use the terrain because it's just too heavy for the trail. But let's see. So the move now is to get these guys down here. All right. So remember, this is 1.5 each one. So this is going to be 3 to here, 6 to there, 9, 12. Oh yeah, because that is a location. And so I believe location is, yeah, you can't see me in there. So he can't spot me when I'm in there for artillery fire. So he's done. Oh, I should have showed you down there. I'm looking at the game, so I'm not looking at the video. So basically I moved from over here, as you guys know, came over here, came down here, and came up there for 12. So how do I want to do this? I definitely want to get these guys up in the north down. So we have a trail here that goes this way. Let's do that. So this is, so we're going to go that's 3, but then it goes up to there and back down. 6, 9, 12 to there. So we got 12 to there. 3, 6, 9, 12. Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12. And then I can go this way next time. All right. We are going to go into this hex. You know what? I'm going to do this as non-road movement, so I'll move them next later. And I think I'm going to move these guys as non-road movement as well. You can get in here. Or get here. I think that's the move. We're gonna. If I move on the road now, the trail goes this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. 3, 6, 9. 9. And then he can go 9, 10, 11. All right, so these guys are in position. We're in a good spot. We're in a good spot because this is a stream down here, and this unit here is in trouble. So let's try to protect our flank. Let's bring this guy back. Let's finish all our road movements, and then I'm going to go off-road. And I want to protect my flank, and I'll probably do it maybe. Well, if he comes out, we'll just go right in. So he's not really going to do anything. Really quick, up in the north, let me put the Sierra counters on them. Combat reserve. I had clip ones. Here we go. Combat reserve. And what we're going to do, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to dismount them. And to let me know that they're dismounted, I'm going to turn them to the side. So they're dismounted, but they keep their strength. It's only when they're armor units, armor infantry, or Panzer Grenadier, that their strength goes down. So they're going to be combat reserve. And then I have 2 more that I'm going to put in combat reserve. Oh, looks like I have to clip these. Interesting. Maybe it's in my other game. All right, where's my combat reserves? All right, here's one. I need 1 more. All right, I'll just use this one. Okay, so these 2 Be combat reserve, so I have 2, 3. That's the max I can have. I'm going to bring this unit down by the road. So this is going to be 3 here. And we'll... Now we'll stay right here. So that's going to stay there. Up here, or not up here, down here. These guys move. I think this guy is fine where he is. Let's just see how this pans out. These guys are on their way down. If not, actually they're on their way over here. Let's go take care of this guy. Now, like I said, we can move this unit 1 hex. Can't move across the stream because of toad is prohibited across stream, if I remember. Let's see. Let me look at the... Yeah, artillery is prohibited. Unless you're going across a road, you cannot go across this stream with this artillery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we do have artillery ability here. I might have to pull this guy out because the next turn, if these guys get down here, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So what I'm gonna do, we can do 1 hex back. On the road. We're gonna go here. Leave this open. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna break it down. So now we have half of our movement, which is going to be now 6. And then we're going to move. The reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is that we're going to make this unit, we're going to turn that unit into a leg unit and jump over this river later. Okay, so that is that. These guys are welcome to come out. We have no problem with that. All right, I think we are good. I think we have what we need. Let's go back up and now do let's now do our prepared assault. This unit here. So he's dismounted. That's right. So we dismounted him, and then we now move forward. These guys here. He's going to be dismounted. So he has 6 movement points left. Well, it doesn't matter because we're doing PA, so I don't have movement points per se, as the rules stated. So he can go over the river and fight without the bridge. He's going to use the bridge since he's still mobile. I can 1, 2, 3. I can use this combat reserve for this one, and these 2 for that one. I think that's the play. All right, guys. It's gonna be fun. We get to do some combat. All right, movement is complete. We don't have any quick construction because we didn't do any construction. So anything that had to be done quickly doesn't happen. Now we have exploitation phase. Now the Americans, if they had anyone in exploitation, they can react. They can be reacting right now to my movement. And so that's what the exploitation is. You put your units that you want to react into this. So, yeah. So there is none. Next thing is going to be fatigue. That one's fatigue, so there's no fatigue recovery. Now we're going to go attack designation. So we designated already everyone for PA, but now we can do tactical assault. Is there anyone we want to do one-on-one attacks with? Not really. So we're going to let that go. And now the barrage. This is where the artillery comes into play. So the Allies, the US, can now attack my units that they want to attack. So the only ones that are attacking is the 4 units that are in PA. Everyone else is in terrain that they cannot see. So it only looks like this unit here can attack. He's got to choose one of the units that he wants to attack with. So which one is the most important? I think this one here. So he's going to lay down 3 barrage points here. He's going to actually, not there, on one of these. So he's going to attack this guy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just makes it. Actually, he has to hit that hex. So he's a 3. And let's see the modifiers. Let's start with my my steps. I'm a 3-step. So there's no modifiers, either or, negative or positive. I don't get terrain benefits as the attacker. That goes out the window. I don't have armor with me to protect me, so that's not going to help. And there is nothing else that I can see that I know about. So yeah. So the way it's going to work, on the 3. Here you go, guys. On a 3, it's a black dice. It's a 10. 10 on a 3 is going to be an AS1. AS1. So the hit that I received, one hit, I'm going to take it as a step loss, which I'm allowed, and will be considered AS. Or I can retreat 1 hex that satisfies that 1. And the AS market means nothing because of we're calling off the attack. Do I want to take step loss? But then I'm going in with an AS market, meaning that means this unit is going to get a shift in their favor. And I'm only going in with 6. Actually, I'm going in with 8. Right? Because it's 3.5 rounded up to a 4 is 8. So I'm 4 to 1 with a shift. And I get no reserves coming in and no replacements. Whatever I have is what I have. That's what I decided to play in this scenario. So it's to death kind of thing, or until we cry uncle. It's not a smart play. Oh, by the way, he rolled. What did he roll? He rolled a 2 for. So he's not ammo depleted. So he fired, but he's not ammo depleted. So what we do is actually we put a marker on the units to let us know that they fired. All right. I think we're gonna take we'll take the loss and go in. No, we're gonna play it smart because of if it was only a 1 result without the AS, I would have taken the 1 result. But since we have the AS mark on us, it really limits us back down to almost a 1-to-1. So what we're going to do is we'll back up, which we can, and these guys will back up. And these can come off. And that was nice shooting. The American barrage has always been brutal in all my games that we've played. All right, so now we have this unit here. So he doesn't have anything. So what we're going to do is wonderful. He cannot fire. No one can reach. So we're safe. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to barrage this guy. I want to see if I can hurt this person. So we have 5 going in. An 8. And we rolled a 7 for our ADV, which we're going to fail. So both of our guns are going to be ammo depleted. But we rolled an 8 on a 5. And that's going to give us a 1. A 1. So the problem is for him, if he takes a step loss, he loses this Z step. He has to retreat. He has to. He cannot. So we actually move this guy out of there. So he's going to back up. So we were able, so let's do the ammo deplete for these guys. And then we're able to get across the river. First he's ammo deplete and he gets that placed on him. Second thing is the unit on the bottom that he retreated into does not get into this combat if I decide to have combat. So yeah, let me do ammo depleted like I said. So let me get those out. Ammo depleted. All right, at least they did their job. If they would have missed and been ammo depleted, that would have been awful. right, so now these guys will go in. The beauty of this attack now, by the way, problem is he can't go in because it's constricted terrain. It will be overstacked. So he's got to fight alone. But the beauty of this is artillery, is an artillery shift on this. I can attack this unit and they cannot help give a shift for him. So we're coming in and we're going to be attacking this guy without any help from them. This comes off. They're going to stay there. It was a successful attack. Successful barrage, I should say. These guys are still in range. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I can at least get combat reserve later. This I cannot. Oh yeah, he can go across the river. 1, 2, so he can give me combat reserve. So I have everything in play here. All right, let's go now to, so we did our barrages. Now we're gonna do our attack. So anything that was attack status that needed to come off, which I already did, they cannot, these guys couldn't fight anymore, so I took up the PA markers. And this guy couldn't fight, so I took up the PA. I'm glad I didn't make this attack. This turned out to be good, because now these guys are gonna have to shuffle around because we're coming on the backside and try to cut through like a knife and get in that way. So let's do our attack. So we're going to attack now. So what we're going to do is add up. So we're coming in with, now we're not half. We're coming in with 9. And he's a 2. So that's going to be 4 to 1. It's a little higher than 4 to 1. Let me do my math. What was I doing now? Why am I blanking now? Oh, 2 into 9 is 4.5. And 4.5 goes up to 5 to 1, because in GOSS, it goes 0.5 and up. So we're 5 to 1. Let me mark that. And we're in woods. He does constricted woods across the stream, and he's in on a vantage point. So the vantage point is going to help him. So this is it's not an easy attack actually. So I'm kind of glad I have 5 to 1 in the woods rough. All right, so we're in a good spot. I'll show you where we're at right now. So we're right there. We want to be past this line, going that way. All right, so we're at 5 to 1. So let's take a look at the combat shifts. Paired assault gives us a shift. So we're at paired assault. That's this. Defenders marked with reserve, none, nothing. No, it's not night. Defender isn't in. So he's a vantage point, so that brings it back down to where it started. He's not in any approved positions or anything like that. He has no adjacent defenders next to him to help him out. He does not have an AS marker, nor do I, which is this marker that they're talking about. There is no leader that we're using. Headquarters did not move. No one's overstacked. It's not a multi-formation. We're all from the same formation attacking, which means the same division. Our army ADV is more than 2. Our army ADV is more than 1. So if our army ADV was a 1, he would get 2 shifts. If it was 2, he would have gotten 1 shift. We're not attacking into a fortification or a city or a town. Okay. So basically, we're back to where we started, where you saw it. Now let's check our dice modifiers. First one is combat reserve. He has nobody in combat reserve. I have 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be plus 15 to the dice roll. Regimental integrity, RIB. He doesn't have any. He's a 1-step unit. We have, so we're going to be another plus 10. So we're at plus 25 to the dice roll. Armor and AT bonus. We don't have any armor going in. He doesn't have any armor. Proficiency. My lead unit is going to be obviously, well, it's not obvious, but this guy, because if I lose, this is the first unit that takes a step loss. He's a 7. He is, the parent of these guys is also a 7. So nothing there. So it's just going to be plus 25 to the dice roll for both of us. All right. My roll, 69 plus 25, 8, 94. So we're 94. 94 is going to be, let's see. He's going to have to take 2 discretionary and 1 mandatory. So he's going to be dead. He rolls an 83. He's off the chart when you put the 25 on there. So no effect against me. He is killed. So we got rid of him. If I take that hex, I should have had units in combat reserve. Not combat reserve, in exploitation, which I talked about over here. Because they could have came in now right behind me and backed me up. Great position here. I would be, oh, you know what? I am going to take that hex. Because there's a bridge right here. And so I do have the ability to get supply. All right, so we are good. This is how this ends here. Move these out of the way. I'm very happy with that attack. So our attacks are done. This can come off. We don't need this anymore. The reason why I can't move, he has unresolved hits. He had 2 discretionary and 1 mandatory. He satisfied the mandatory. He took the step loss and he's gone. He had 2 more hits, and I could continue moving. However, I moved adjacent to all these units, so I must stop. If not, I will keep going. All right, I can take this off of him. show that he fired. All right, now let's go to, let's see what else is there. Exploitation. No one's in exploit mode. Now we go into administration. We're going to check supply. And then I also have to do mutual ammo depletion. So why don't we do that right now? The ammo depletion. The supply thing we don't need to check on with the video. He doesn't have anyone depleted. I have 2 units. Now, I have, to start this scenario, 3 ammo points. 1 ammo point will satisfy 3 of these artillery units to put them back into back with ammo. Or I can roll for each one of these. I have to roll a 3 or less. That's my ADV to be able to put them back with a 10-side dice, a D10. I am not going to do that. I'm going to pay with my ammo point. And even though it's only 2, not 3 units, that's okay by me. So they're back to full strength. Replacement segment. Again, we're not doing any replacements, and it's going to be an American turn. So I'm going to do offline my supply, and we'll come back after that. Talk to you guys later.